Welcome to Faith in 5, a weekly video devotional designed to discuss practical spiritual concepts in 5 minutes or less.
Do you ever think about what you think about? How much thought do you give to your thoughts? Thoughts are a funny thing. We have all these phrases. We talk about getting lost in thought. Have you ever been lost in thought while you're reading and you realize you just read 10 pages, don't know what you read? I've had that. Or getting lost in thought while I'm driving on a long road trip. Be like, oh, an hour just went by. Hopefully I'm still paying attention while driving. The other, we talk about the train of thought. What was your train of thought in that, right? I started here, went all over the place, and ended up thinking about this thing. Everything else in our life flows from our thought life. I can make New Year's resolutions or commitments to God or all these things saying, I'm going to change my behaviors and change my words. But actually, that'll never last very long until we change the underlying thoughts. And God has a lot to say to us about our thought life. So here's 2 thoughts for you on thoughts. And the first one starts from a great practical challenge, comes from the Apostle Paul out of 2 Corinthians 10:5. And he says, we need to learn to take every thought captive. Every thought captive. Before I dwell on it, before it comes out of my mouth, take it captive and first ask, is it a thought that's from God? It's a good place to start. Is it a thought that's true? Is it something even worth thinking further about and dwelling on? Is it something I need to solve right now, or can it wait? Is it something that's productive or helpful? Take captive every thought. Second thought on thoughts is not just take it captive, but the step beyond that, be intentional about what you will think about. Sometimes I try to think about it like this. It's kind of a tough challenge, but evaluating my thoughts in a given day or a given week, and I'll ask, what percentage of my thoughts today or this week were spent in complaining thoughts? What percentage of them were criticizing others, criticizing myself? What percentage of them were about guilt and shame? What percentage of my thoughts were worrying about stuff that's never happened, thinking through worst case scenarios? What if instead we're intentional what we should think about? That was actually God's plan for us. It's in Philippians chapter 4, verse 8. A great list, or a great filter to run our thoughts through. God says, here's what to be intentional to think about. Things that are true, things that are noble, things that are right and pure and admirable and lovely and excellent. What if a higher percentage of our thought life was spent on things that I'm thankful for? Was spent on gratitude, the attitude of gratitude, as they say? What if it was spent on the things that I love about somebody else? What if I was more intentional to spend thought time on my hopes, my dreams, the hopes and dreams I believe God has for me? What if I spent it on celebrating achievements and past wins from God, things that I've seen God show up and do? What if I spent more thoughts thinking about who God is, reflecting on what he promises, reflecting on what he feels about us? I'm telling you, the more we change our thoughts towards things that are true and lovely and admirable and just so filled with God, the more it's going to change our life.
Thanks for watching Faith in 5. If you like what you see, please like and share. If you're interested in making a donation to our ministry, please click the link below.